Flosstube. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Coleen and this is Lochabay Stitches and this is Flosstube number 17. So welcome back to Twednesday version number 2. Unfortunately, I couldn't tape yesterday and next week we're also going to have another Twednesday version. So yeah, yesterday I had to take poor Sammy to the vet. And then next week we have to make a trip to the big city down to Austin for him to see a specialist. So I won't go too much into like what's going on because I don't want to get all emotional. He's my baby. But yeah, we have to take him for a test. So fingers crossed. It's just going to be, we are paying for a test to find out that there's nothing wrong and it'll just be what it is. And that's that. So yeah, so that's why this week and next week are going to have to be Wednesday editions. So, and then hopefully the next week after that, we'll get back to my regular Tuesdays. I don't know why. Tuesdays is a good day for me. So anyways, so yeah, I have a whole bunch of things to show you today. I have one framed finish for you to show. And then one that I probably, if I would have pushed myself last night to finish it, I could have had a second framed finish. But I'll just show you the progress today because I wanted to show you my other cut through. So that's those things. And then I'll show you some of the things I've been working on this week and the wee little bit of stash I got. So anyways, with that starting, so I'll start with my stash. The only thing that I bought this week, I had to run an errand and I picked up this kit. It's from Janlin. But I don't have it, so of course I had to have it, and it was on clearance for $8.74. So it's a Noah's Ark, and it's pretty big. I'm not sure when I'll ever get to it, but for $8.74, I needed to rescue it. So yeah, so it looks really nice though. It's really pretty. It's realistic. So I'm pretty sure, I haven't opened it, but I'm pretty sure it's full coverage. So if it's full coverage, I'll probably just go ahead and use the Ada that came in the kit. But I'll look and see. But yeah, it's pretty big. 11 by 25 inches. Someday you'll see that on Flosstube, like in 5 years or something. So next up, I'll show you all the things that I worked on this week. So I do have a surprise today. Look what finally got cut out. So of course this is the back side, but First Frost is all cut out. So I'm super excited. I have not tried to sew them yet, but they're all set. I put some interfacing in them, so when they stuff, it doesn't come through. And then once they're both sewn, I'll figure out the circumference that I need for like the circle to like mount them, because they're going to be stand-ups. So yeah, so I did really good. I took my time, had really sharp scissors, so I'm excited to get these put together. And then this is the orange that I picked out. It's kind of subdued, but I'm gonna put noses on them, so to kind of make them more I guess recognizable as a snowman. So yeah, they'll each have a little nose, but that's the color that I picked out. It kind of is like the same tone of like the muted colors of the yellows and coral colors in there. So yeah, so I don't know how much further I'll get on those this week. I got a lot going on this week. But I was excited that I finally took the plunge and took the scissors to my cross stitch. For me, it's very daunting because you spend all that time stitching and you don't want to screw it up. But I did it. So I was kind of proud of myself because I've already said before, like, I don't have the greatest sewing skills. I can do it, but I'm definitely not going to be invading on the finishing industry anytime soon. So yeah, so I was excited to show those today. Then this is shamefully how far I got. So I've been working through the Snowflower Diaries monthlies. And this is as far as I got this week on May. And part of the problem was, and if you've watched any of my other Flosstubes, I really don't like borders. It's rare that I'll stitch one. It has to be kind of special or like really relevant to the pattern for me to stitch it. So these I did, and I got all the way around the top and realized that way back here I had made a mistake. So I ripped it out. I was gonna fudge, but I didn't. But yeah, so that's why this one didn't get any further, because I was kind of mad at it, so I put it down to the side. So definitely this week, for next week, it has to get done. And then the next thing that I worked on this week, so Owl Forest, you probably have seen, is doing like it's a year-long stitch along. I think it goes till next year sometime. But every 2 weeks they're going to put up a different part. And last year I wasn't like hip to it, but they did a stitch along to Wizard of Oz. And so someday I might go back and stitch that one too. But this year's is Alice in Wonderland. And for me, I like these stitch alongs because you can just stitch a little, get that part done, and then put it away and move on. So I'm kind of loving doing the stitch alongs. But so yeah, so the first part came out. I chose to do it over 1 on 28 count. So the final size will be about 9.5 by 9.5. Simply because if I ever get around to framing everything that I have finished, wall space is going to be an issue. Because I'm one of those people that I don't like to put things away. So like my Christmas advents are down at the end of the hallway hanging up. I like to look at them. So you spend all that time stitching them and you finally get them finished, they're going to hang on the wall somewhere. So yeah. So yeah, I'm going to do it on 28 count. I think this is, yeah, it's an even weave. It's a over dyed. Not really sure. It was just in my stash, so I really can't say where it came from. I might have dyed it. I'm not sure. But anyway, so that's the first part. So it's like the archway. There's like some little hearts and a like trellis. It's really cute. So yeah, I decided to go over 1 just to keep it small for size. So yeah, so I got part 1 done. So I'm super proud that I'm gonna be keeping up on that. So yeah, so that's it for all 4. So I'll put the link below if you're interested in joining up. And the next part 2, comes out May 7th. So like another week or so. So lots of time to still join in and catch up or whatever. And then I also am doing the stitch along from Barbara Ana, Dreaming Frida. And I just finished part 2. I didn't finish it right away, but part 3 comes out May 1st. So I had to get it done at some point, but this is how far I got. So it's all, part 1 and part 2 is all finished. And then this was a piece of, this is an over dyed too. And this was a bought piece. It's kind of like, it has like a greenish, tealish tint. It's like really faint, but it's really pretty. It kind of matches the colors that are in the pattern. So yeah, so the face finally comes out on May 1st. So yeah, I'm excited to get that stitch in there and get on this one, hopefully get it finished up. Probably not by next week though, like I said, because this coming up week is gonna be pretty full. So, and then, because I already didn't have enough things started, Barbara Ana is coming out with another stitch along, and of course all the links will be below. But this one is called Garden of Dreams. So this is just the supply chart that I took with me. I had a few flosses that I needed to pick up. But it's going to be, again, on a piece of hand-dyed even weave. This one's kind of like a greenish-brown mottled color. It was pressed, but then I folded it up to put it in the envelope. But yeah, I think I posted a picture of it on Instagram. So all the flosses are ready to go, and that one starts May 1st. So it has a face in it, so I'm sure there's a girl in it. It's kind of blurred. You really can't see the whole picture. But it's Barbara Ana, and it's a stitch along, so why not, right? So, and it's not very big. This one should go pretty quick. It's only 86 by 97 stitches. So yeah. So that one starts May 1st, and the other part 3 comes out May 1st. So lots of things going on May 1st. So yeah, and then the only other thing that I worked on stitching wise this week, I had seen somebody's finish on Instagram talking about May is a great time to start your patriotic stitches. And I saw somebody else's finish, and I was like, oh, I have that pattern, I'll dig it out. So I have a whole bunch of Bent Creek patterns that are just like screaming my name to stitch. I've always loved their patterns. So I dug out my pattern and I started Land That I Love. And there's I didn't bring the pattern in here. There's 2 or 3 different patterns in the booklet, so it's kind of cute, but this is the beginning of it. And it's going to be 3 little houses. And I changed up the colors. I didn't go with what was completely on the chart simply because I just pulled what I had. I have so many overdyed, so I just pulled what I had and picked a couple colors that I liked better. And then of course I just changed a couple things down there, but hopefully, I don't know, yeah, I probably have to start catching up because for my 1 a week challenge, for my personal challenge, I'm kind of 2 behind now. So I have to get something done. So I either have to finish this or May from Snowflower Diaries to catch up. So, but this one, I have a super cute idea. When I saw the finish on Instagram, and I'll have to credit whose Instagram I saw it on, but when I saw her finish, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to dig that out because I have a good idea for a frame. So yeah, so I just pulled it out a couple nights ago, and I just spent one night stitching on it just to kind of get into it and get it out of my system. So yeah, that was pretty much all I got to get to this week for stitching, which actually it's quite a bit, but sometimes when you look, like I didn't really have any finishes this week, so stitching wise, so it kind of feels like I'm behind, but I'm probably not. But anyway, so I said last week that I was going to show my cut through Lighthouse. So this one I stitched in 2008. I was actually living in Washington, D.C. I was stationed there in the Army. So this was my finish, and that's how it came out. And this was a super fun stitch. I love these. And plus they take a while to stitch. I probably spent about a year stitching this, about a year and a half. Because I started it in probably the end of 2006 and then finished it sometime in 2008. But then I did a little cutout. I just drew a little penguin to kind of mirror the one that was up there in the middle, and a little life preserver. So that's the little cutout that's down in the bottom. So, and a little story about that cutout. I know that there's lots of people who do that now, but I have to kind of give credit. Back in 95 to 1997. I know that's going to date and age me, but it was right after I graduated from college the first time. And I worked in the frame shop in the retail store that was above Stony Creek magazine. So my boss, his name was Dave. I believe his last name was Sarver. So Dave was the one who used to do all of those fancy like the mattings that you would see like in their magazines and the covers of their patterns and stuff. So you have to think back, like back at that time, there was no computers that did it for you. Like you couldn't just plug something in and everything would be perfect. Like every one of those mats was hand cut. And I'm telling you, like I would have to say, like looking back, he was like the godfather of hand cut mats. Like, cause he was doing it before it was cool. So I like consider myself super lucky that that was one of my first framing jobs. So I think I've worked in 4 different framing shops in my life. And that was my first job. So one, I was like super happy that he gave me a job in the first place. But I learned so much there. So one of the things that from our distributor, he purchased for me so that I could like learn how to do it and practice at home. But it's called a little cube cutter. And it's just a little cube that you hold in your hand, but it holds a razor blade. I don't know if it's hard to see, but it holds a razor blade. So this is how we would do hand cut mats. And so that's how, like I said, that was in 2008 that I did this one, but that's how we would do like the cutout. So if someone would ask for like a shape or something, like one of us would draw or paint something and then you would just cut out around it. So you got to be really good at being super steady with your hand. Like I remember one time I cut out a circle, and it was almost hard to tell it wasn't a perfect circle. That was one of my proudest moments. But yeah, so yeah, going back, like I would have to say he was one of the like first people that was doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, I consider myself lucky that I got to be under his tutelage. So, and I kind of lost touch with him. There was another girl, Carrie and Linda and Cheryl. We were kind of like a little family back there. And yeah, I kind of lost touch over the years with everybody, but someday I would really love to like reconnect with those people. Like lots of great memories there. So yeah, so that leads me to, this was my non-finish finish this week. All I have really left to do is pin it out and like secure down the mat. But this was how the beach house came out. So what I did on this one is I drew a little, you can see him I drew a little seagull to kind of mirror what's in the pattern. And then up here, I just did some cutouts of flags and then used like real string. So there's like holes poked in the flag. So it's kind of like 3D. But I'm super excited about this one. It almost makes me want to go back to the old one and like cut out some flags for that one too. So that they kind of even more match. But yeah, I was super excited how this one came out. So yeah, I still need to pin it out. It's just stuck in there, just kind of all sandwiched together. So next week, later this week, I'll take the time and pin this out and straighten up the mats and get this one ready to hang in the these go in our our back bathroom. So yeah, so that was my 2 cut throughs, and the only other cut through that I've done the Noah's Ark cut through. So, and that one's framed up too, and I'll show that at some point too. But so yeah, that leads me to my last finish for the week is from Crocetta A Go Go from Etsy, and I'll of course put the link below. But they're doing a time window series of little monthlies, and so a couple of times ago I had finished April. So yay, I finished May just in time for May. So this is how it came out. So there's like in the pattern there's a little fox. So I carved like a little bird, and I originally painted him pink, but then it was too much pink. So I instead of recarving him, I just painted him again. So he has some little pink flecks in him too, but I painted him yellow. And then down here on the bottom is just a little flower. And then it has like some little wire like leaves. So yeah, so that's what May came out like. And I'll have to look. June I think is a dog, so I'm kind of excited about that one. So probably sometime, maybe I'll take June with me when I take Sammy to Austin. And that way I can work on that while I'm waiting for him to get his test done, because it'll probably be a while. So, but yeah, so super excited. So if you really like these, check them out. To me, they're super cute. And I just love how they come out. So that's May. And then I still need to go back. I started with April. So January, February, March. I gotta need to squeeze those in somewhere too. But like one of these days. But yeah, so I guess I did get a little something done this week. Like I said, every week it feels like I'm never getting enough done. But, or I feel like I don't really have that much to show, but then I start showing stuff and it's like 17 minutes in, like, oh, okay, I guess I had some stuff. So anyway, so May 1st is almost here, so that's going to be the start of Stitch Mania. So what I had decided to do, I think I shared a couple times ago, was I picked out 10 projects that I already have kitted up, and they were going to be in a rotation anyway. So what I'm going to do is I put all the names in a hat and I drew them out, and I'm going to spend 3 days. So whatever time I can squeeze in 3 days, like so May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, I'll start with the first one, and then the 4th, 5th, and 6th, I'll move on to number 2. And that way, and then I'll put them back in their rotation order. And so when I finally do get to them, when I finish up whatever I've got going in my works in progress, that it'll kind of be a little bonus, like I already have some stitching done. So even if it's just a little bit, hey, it's something. And it kind of like cures that itch to start something new. So it'll kind of keep me motivated to keep working on what I should be working on. And then, like I said, it kind of scratch that urge to try something new. So with that said, so for my Mania, the order that they came up with is, the first one I'm going to start is Light from Barbara Ana. It was a free pattern, and I'll put all the links below to everything that I'm talking about. And then the second pattern is Huckleberry Farm from the Blue Flower. The third one is Frida and Diego from Barbara Ana. The fourth one is Snow Blow Glow from Stitchy Kitty, and that comes out of a hardcover book and like a Craftaways book. And then number 5 is All Creatures, Great and Small from Barbara Ana. And number 6 is Noah's Garden Sampler from Victoria Sampler. Number 7 is the Evergreen Sampler, and that's also out of the same Craftaways book as Snow Blow Glow. So I'm getting a twofer of that book. There's some other patterns in there too that are really cute. And number 8 is Dreaming Climp from Barbara Ana. Number 9 is Santa Advent from Doreen Jones, and number 10 is Vinny the Vampire from Glennon Place. So that's my order that I'm going to be stitching in. So probably every time that I tape, every Tuesday, it'll probably kind of be an overlap of 2 different projects to show some progress on. So that'll be kind of fun. And then I kind of went through and I made up a little, like my rotation just to kind of keep myself organized, but then to keep track of my 1 a week schedule, like what's coming up, what needs to get done, stuff like that. So that's how I know I'm kind of 2 behind. But so I was kind of like looking over. So far this year I have 14 finishes and I've framed 7 of them. So I'm like at 50%. So that's really good. So I was kind of excited about that. So I think probably what I'll do is maybe like halfway through the year, like gather up like all my finishes and kind of do a mini parade, like a recap of everything that's gotten done. So, but yeah, so not too bad. So I got to go through and again, start pulling some stuff out of that closet. And not just frame up the new stuff that I'm stitching and framing. But that, I mean, that's good, but yeah, that's not helping the 70 finishes that are hiding in the closet. So anyways, but yeah, so that's about all I got for this week. Like I said, next week is going to be, hopefully a good week. I'm not sure if we'll get the results of the test right away, or not. I'm sure that once they do the test, they'll be able to see, if they see anything or no. So, and then we'll just go from there. So, and like I said, I'll share more about like what's going on with poor Sammy. So, maybe this week I'll probably dig out something to stitch in honor of him just to, make myself feel better. But yeah, so, but yeah, this week I have some schoolwork to finish up and, you know, just regular life stuff. But other than that, yeah. So comment below and let me know what you're working on, if you've sorted out your Stitch Mania plans. And then we can all kind of like keep each other motivated and going through May. Oh, one other thing I will say, I did participate in the first 24 hours of cross stitch. And alas, I only got 14 hours. So I did my best to like squeeze in as much as I could. But the next one, I think that, because it was kind of like last minute, I was like, hey, I'm going to join in. But the next time I might block like whatever that weekend is to be like, hey, that's my vacation. But yeah, so I was kind of happy though. 14 hours is a lot. But yeah, so comment below and let me know like what you have working on this week, or if you participate in the 24 hours of cross stitch or anything like that. And then later today I'll update Instagram with some of the finishes and stuff like that. So other than that, I hope you have a great week. Happy stitching. Bye.